To quickly cut across to Abha Singh, who's a lawyer joining us on the phone line. Abha, over to you on the Supreme Court cracking a whip on Nupur Sharma. She went to court asking for some kind of relief and intervention to club all the FIRs to one state in Delhi. But it appears that a lot more was said, which she never expected. Supreme Court here has said she's single-handedly responsible for the environment that we see around the country today, also referring to what has happened in Udaipur.
I am glad that Supreme Court has taken cognizance of that, because Udaipur is a fallout of the statement made by Nupur Sharma, and if it is coming from the apex court, it will definitely have an impact not only on the country but also world over where there have been protests. Now, coming to the clubbing of FIRs from all states is absolutely a bizarre demand, because everywhere it would be a specific criminal issue. And how can you club at least thousands and hundreds of FIRs? I think the very fact she came forward and asked for this relief itself was brazen. But nonetheless, Supreme Court telling her that it is not possible is a very welcome relief, because somehow people were thinking that the Supreme Court is looking the other way, Supreme Court is not coming with justice. But when Justice Pardiwala says that tries to pull up Nupur Sharma, I think it's a very positive direction, because India talks of the preamble talks of a secular nature. Then we have Article 14, which says equality before law and equal protection of laws. So, but also at the same time it says you are innocent till proven guilty. So let the law of the land take its course, and truth should come out.
Well, yeah, the Supreme Court also further observing that there has been no arrest on Nupur Sharma so far. There hasn't been a direction from the Supreme Court. Like we know, the Supreme Court would not give a direction to arrest her, but has observed very clearly that there are many others who've been arrested. Nupur Sharma still does not face arrest.
Exactly, because you have Zubair, that alt news editor, who's been arrested for making for under charges of 153 and 295, that disrupting harmony among communities. So I think the court is right when it says no action has been taken on Nupur Sharma. So, as I said, equality before law and equal protection of laws is the crux of the Indian Constitution, and it is the moral duty, because there is something called constitutional morality. So, if the Supreme Court is talking about it, I am glad and I am happy that somebody is realizing that there's above everything is constitutional morality, which needs to be upheld.
You know, Abha, at this point, what the Supreme Court has also said very clearly is that that this reeks of arrogance. The fact that she reached the apex court, did not reach out to the lower courts first, that reeks of arrogance. Also saying that as a responsible BJP spokesperson, she should have observed caution while she was speaking. With anger, we hear that the Supreme Court has made these observations, quite much with anger, and very keenly observing these developments all along. It seems like the Supreme Court got a chance today through this petition that she has filed in court to unleash what they had in mind for a while. This has been raging on for a couple of weeks now. Finally, this is the first time that the Supreme Court taking up the matter thanks to her petition.
Exactly, because India's reputation has been damaged world over, because we are very proud of our democracy, we are very proud of our secular constitution, and I think when Supreme Court is setting the mandate, if it is drawing the attention, the government must follow it. The police of this country should not be biased. They are supposed to uphold the law of the land, and what is important is absolutely, because the manner in which, even where the Shiv Sena dissenters ran to the Supreme Court, or for that matter, Paramveer Singh ran to the Supreme Court, it's putting up a wrong precedent that without going to the lower court, without looking into alternate remedies, you're just running to the Supreme Court. It is not a good practice, and I'm happy the Supreme Court has said, kindly go back to your state, go back to your local court, because end of the day, the hierarchy needs to be maintained.
All right. Now, to see what the Supreme Court has said, and such harsh words that the Supreme Court has used while almost cracking a whip on her, do you feel that this has set the tone for the police and respective state governments to pursue this case against her?
Absolutely. Supreme Court wants that the law of the land should be upheld, and when you are arresting so many people under 295A and under 153 that for spreading hatred, for disrupting harmony, then her statement of course has disrupted harmony. It has led to the killing of Kanhaiya Lal in Udaipur because it has enraged the feelings of other communities. So when you are the official spokesperson of a party, you are responsible to the party, and you're bringing a bad name to the BJP, because let me tell you, the Prime Minister had to come and speak of Abbas and said that he had a Muslim person living in his house. The Prime Minister had to come and say that we have good relations with Muslims. But Nupur Sharma's one statement has destroyed that fragment. It has fragmented the society.
Right. You know, at this point, Abha, a quick word on Nupur Sharma's next step of action. She's got to reach out to the lower courts in all these states where FIRs have been filed against her. It's an uphill task in that case, a long legal battle for her.
Absolutely, she'll have to go everywhere, because you have seen how different state police have come and arrested someone from other states, other districts. So she will have to go to all these places. When you can have Rahul Gandhi coming to Kalyan in a defamation matter, when you can have so many politicians going all over India to defend themselves. So wherever the FIR is registered, you need to act. In fact, for Sushant Singh case, we all saw how Bihar police came to Mumbai to investigate. So it's become a trend now that different state polices are just coming in. So Supreme Court needs to really ensure that the CRPC guidelines, whatever the CRPC says, is followed, and the policemen do not succumb to the political pressure.
You know, here Abha, Nupur Sharma so far has said that she has withdrawn her statement. Does that amount to an apology? Do you believe that this is could that be conceived as apology here? Because Supreme Court asking that Nupur Sharma...
Of course.
Supreme Court saying Nupur Sharma should apologize to the nation, but Nupur has already withdrawn her statement publicly.
Yeah, when she has apologized, she should be forgiven. We should show that how benevolent and large-hearted we are. But the law of the land will take its course. But I would request that all the communities that are enraged, should look into it, that she has withdrawn her statement. She is apologizing. We should forgive her. And all these statements that they will attack her, kill her, that's also very wrong. Action should be taken on all those people who are passing such statements, because end of the day, to forgive is divine.
Absolutely. Undoubtedly, that if she's apologized, then she must be forgiven. Then in that case, many of the other comments made by several other people popular on social media who have now been arrested, do you think their apology will be taken and let off on bail?
See, that way, as I said, there are two parallel things. One is the law of the land, because that is what the police has registered in FIR, and there is a procedure. Once you've registered an FIR, you cannot close it without doing the proper investigation. So that needs to be done, and after that only those FIRs can be closed. But yes, the communities, the leaders of different communities, they should not pass brazen statements and she should be allowed to come out and breathe like a normal citizen, because if she is apologizing, she has a right. But killing her is going to a step forward. You are trying to threaten her, taking somebody's life. I think that is very wrong. So all the community leaders must come forward.
Which is why it comes as a big surprise when the Supreme Court blames Nupur Sharma for the beheading in Udaipur. This is such a grave crime. People have taken law into their own hands, but somehow the Supreme Court saying that Nupur Sharma is responsible for what has happened in Udaipur, the beheading in Udaipur, that
no, but
comes
if
as
you
a surprise.
So many riots have taken place because people have made such statements and they've been arrested. So that is why you have these sections in the IPC, hurting religious sentiments, and end of the day your rights finish where you try to impinge on the right of some other person. So we, living in a society, we need to respect each other, we need to respect religious sentiments, we need to maintain restraint. So Supreme Court, if it is coming down heavily, it is not only for Nupur Sharma, it is for all the persons who are trying to enrage religious sentiments and destroy the peace and security of the country.
You know, at this point, you know, Abha, of course, asking you a question apart from the law here, there's a lot of criticism that when people poke fun of Hindu gods, there's really no one to stand up for them. Nobody speaks up for them. No Gulf country comes asking for intervention or showing outrage. Considering that this comment was made on Prophet Muhammad, and because the Gulf countries intervened with their with outrage that they showed, boycotting Indian products, almost sidelining Indians in Gulf countries. That's why we see a strict legal intervention here. What happens to many of those people who have constantly poked fun at Hindu gods and have not been taken to task?
It's not about Hindu-Muslim. In the first place, why should you hurt somebody's religious sentiments? Why should you talk about God? They are there to pray. That's your personal sentiment. So why should you hurt anybody's sentiment is my issue. When there is a law of the land, then why are you breaking the law?
So the same measure must be applied on both ends.
See, both ends is for the courts. It is for the courts to adjudicate, not for you and me. But our duty is to ensure that we don't flare sentiments. We don't say something which leads to riots and innocent lives are lost. That is as a fundamental duty of every citizen of this country, that you ensure that you do not hurt the religious sentiments, because that's a law. You're violating a law. And above all, live in peace, live in safety. Why do you want to humiliate and insult anyone just for a few likes or some Twitter followers? I think I would say that is not what we have been brought up with. Our values, we have always been taught to be respectful. We have been taught to be civilized. So why are we not doing that? Why are we only trying to hurt each other's sentiments? Hindus and Muslims have lived peacefully in this country. I come from Lucknow. We are proud of our Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb. Let everybody know that everybody is here to live peacefully, nothing else.
A quick final word. How about the Supreme Court observing that she has not been arrested while many others have? Does that mean a direction again to the respective state police where FIRs have been filed against her? Is the Supreme Court trying to say that she must be arrested?
It is not saying that. That is a different matter. But the very fact that the Supreme Court has expressed its unhappiness, if Justice Pardiwala has come forward and said, then the local police must take cognizance, because end of the day, there is something called contempt of court. You have arrested Teesta Sikhlawaz on just the observations of the Supreme Court. So likewise, action should be taken after reading the judgment. I have not read the judgment. I am hearing the words from you. But it's a welcome sign that the Supreme Court is monitoring things, what is happening in the country.